Hey there, Doug from unSkript. And in the last couple of videos, we've been talking about how we can identify where our AWS costs are coming from using unSkript. And so how we might build alerts, how we might build charting to understand what's exactly going on in the background as our team is building all of our infrastructure on AWS. And in the first video, we broke it down by all the different products. And in this one, we're going to go a little bit deeper. If we look at that first chart, we come back over here and look at that first chart. Our biggest spend at unSkript at about 20 to 25 bucks a day is in EC2. So we have a lot of virtual machines running. So let's dig a little bit deeper and try to understand where that spend is coming from. And, maybe we've got some like rogue machines floating around that we can spin down, right? I spun up something to test and I'm not using it anymore, but I forgot to turn it off. Let's go dig a little bit deeper. So in this case, what we're going to do, it's going to be very similar to the last video. To create we've populated our Redshift database with the daily usage for all of the different systems using the Amazon cost and usage report. And when you run a Redshift query, there are a few things that you need. And so let's look at that right here. I'm going to move my face over here just a little bit. You need to know the region, and that's set up here in my input parameters. I'm setting my region as US West 2. And then the other parameters are the query, which I'm generating here, the cluster, the database, and my secret ARN. And the secret ARN I'm grabbing right here. I'm not going to show it to you because it's a secret. The SQL query isn't a secret, and what we're generating, the reason we're generating it as a variable is so that the name of the table is AWS billing year month. And so I'm just doing some date time stuff to create the string so that in March it's 2023-03, next month it'll be 2023-04, etc. Makes sense. So we've generated our SQL query. Now let's actually do the query. So we hit this, we hit run. We get this result ID. Now, of course, we have to check to see if the result is done. And it is. And again, it took 12 milliseconds. That's really fast. The result is ready. So let's pull those results in. There's only 44 rows. It's only the 9th of March. We don't have that many different types of EC2 instances. So what we're actually doing here is we're getting how many hours of each EC2 instance we're using every single day, and then we're turning that into like how much we're paying every single day for those EC2 instances. So let's get the result, pop it into a data frame, and then let's chart it. And so what we can see here is that, this is our 2x large, this is our large, this is our large, and then we've got a couple micros floating around at, under $1 a day. But you can actually see we've been using less of the T2 large. We went down from $6 to a little over $4 in the first couple of days of this month. So clearly we saw a way that we could, and maybe it even went down to this micro. Like maybe we spun down one and spun it up as a micro. We said, hey, we've got this big computer doing a lot of stuff, and we don't need a big computer. We can use a little teeny one. And clearly that's going to save us some money. This is just zoomed in a little bit more. It doesn't really make that much of a difference because we're not spending that much here. It's not a huge amount of money, but we're a startup. Every little bit counts. If we can find that this M5A2X is too big for what we need, and we can spin it down to a large, $2 a day is $2 a day. That's an extra latte once a week. And so finally we have an alert. So if there's a big jump day over day, we could get an alert, whether it's a Slack message or an email or something, just to tell the team like, hey, we had a big jump in our EC2 costs a couple days ago. Like we should take a look just to make sure that, whatever we spun up, we actually really need. And if we don't need it, we should turn it off. We can see there isn't a big change here. This sort of feels like, I'm a dad and you're always, I remember my parents always telling me, make sure you turn off the lights when you're done. This is sort of that same thing. This is sort of the parent telling the team, like make sure that when you're done using these things, if you're done with them, just turn it off so we don't waste electricity. I hope this is interesting. Look in this space for more videos like this one, where we talk about how you can use unSkript to make your life easier as a cloud engineer. In this case, we're looking to simplify your costs, help you understand where your costs are coming from. But there are going to be a lot more things like this coming in our YouTube channel. So thanks for watching and stay tuned.